also bring Sanjay Jha into this conversation? Because Sanjay Jha, the BJP says that India Alliance is celebrating. There are two things here. One, Arvind Kejriwal is on interim bail. Two, it's conditional bail. He cannot talk about this case. Three, the BJP spokesperson and Rajya Sabha MP Syed Zafar Islam, you just heard. He says the courts are making a distinction. Extra kind to Arvind Kejriwal, not kind to Hemant Soren.
Gaurav, I'm sorry, but I have been in a bad traffic jam, which is why I couldn't be at my home to do the call. But I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me
Loud
clearly?
And clear. Strength 5, sir. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Gaurav, I want to make just two short points. Number one, Arvind Kejriwal, the case against him is frankly speaking a great shock to many people, because they saw the background to the case where Sharath Reddy, who was the earlier kingpin of the Delhi liquor scam, astoundingly turned into an approver. The ED did not object to the bail. He then actually blamed Arvind Kejriwal, and he and his company donated 55 crores to the BJP in electoral bonds. So I think the people of this country are aware that we will wait for the Supreme Court to find its final verdict on the accusations against him. But prima facie, people know that this is probably a highly politically motivated case. Now, when he's getting a bail, although it is only an interim bail, I can tell you that across the length and breadth of this country, and I do believe that AAP is a very critical member of the India Alliance, and Arvind Kejriwal, Gaurav, even his worst critics have to point out, is a brilliant orator, someone who speaks with a lot of conviction, and I think is a real middle-class hero. You can't ignore him at all, and I do understand why the BJP is sounding nervous today, because Arvind Kejriwal will provide the ammunition and the arsenal that the India Alliance needs to now cross the line. The BJP is seeing the writing on the wall.
Respond, Syed Zafar Islam. From Saurav Bharadwaj of the Aam Aadmi Party to Sanjay Jha, a political analyst and former spokesperson of the Congress, they're saying that these 21 days will be very crucial. Arvind Kejriwal is a good orator and he can change things or influence the voters in favor of the India Alliance and not just in Delhi or Punjab.
I don't think it will have any impact on the outcome of the election result. We are confident of our victory. We know exactly we are being blessed by the people of this great country. They have a lot of admiration for the Honorable Prime Minister. They understand that there is a Prime Minister who delivers consistently. Last 4 years have been delivering for last 10 years. And India is fortunate to have a Prime Minister like him who has ensured that every single citizen and their interests has been safeguarded, and India, in the eyes of the global community, also seen as no more a soft nation but a very strong nation. So every Indian would want to vote for the Bharatiya Janata Party and for the Prime Minister. And so whether Kejriwal is inside or outside, it doesn't matter as far as the outcome is concerned. But he is not. Let me also highlight it that he is not been given entry bail as a Chief Minister of Delhi, because he has been restriction, a lot of restriction is there for him to come out and do not perform as the Chief Minister, but as a convener of his party. That's why he has been granted bail, so that he can campaign. It is a temporary measures. There is nothing to celebrate. I think they will have
the Aam Aadmi Party is celebrating
because
the Aam Aadmi Party is celebrating in a very big way.
His interim bail will have no impact on the consequences.
Okay, you say it will have absolutely no impact on elections. I'll get Shubh Malhotra to respond to that. I want to bring in Raghav Awasthi on the legal point. And Raghav Awasthi strictly on the legal point that Syed Zafar Islam made. He said the courts have been more than kind to Arvind Kejriwal. That's his point. Point one. Point two, he says there's a distinction that's been drawn. Kindness to Arvind Kejriwal, not so kind to another Chief Minister or former Chief Minister Hemant Soren of Jharkhand, a tribal leader. How do you respond on the legal aspect of this?
I think if I speak purely as a lawyer, then I think there is enough scholarship that the Supreme Court often tends to speak in different voices depending upon who's on the bench. And so therefore, I mean, of course, there is this problem with the whole doctrine of stare decisis and how it is applied. So this is probably all that I'm going to say as a lawyer. But as far as the political aspect is concerned, one thing is very important, which is that the Supreme Court has very clearly said that Mr. Kejriwal cannot perform his duties as chief minister.
Okay.
I think if we acknowledge that he is being let out on interim bail so that he can function as a campaigner, then we have to also acknowledge that he won't be able to sign any files or function as chief minister, and he can also not meet any witnesses. So I think what happens in a lot of such cases is, in case of interim orders, they are structured in such a way that, and now I'm speaking purely as a lawyer, not as a whatever, as somebody who was in the BJP's campaign committee. These interim orders are often structured in such a way that both parties can claim something for their own respective selves. So I think
Fair
this
enough,
is
but
the nature of this order.
Shubh Malhotra, the Aam Aadmi Party, with Sunita Kejriwal heading to Tihar jail, the way Sanjay, when Sanjay Singh was released from jail, I was anchoring even that day, and the entire pomp and show around the release. What is the Aam Aadmi Party's plan, and what impact, according to you, will this have? Will it be restricted to Delhi and Punjab, or will he also travel elsewhere?
See, everybody in India acknowledges today that Arvind Kejriwal is his own political force in his own right. Aam Aadmi Party is its own political force. Within 10 years, we became a national party, and we are our own. We have our own standing in India Alliance and across the country. And as far as 2024 general elections is concerned, three main turning points that really changed the tide will forever be remembered. One is the release of Sanjay Singh, which shows how frivolous this liquor scam is. The second is the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal, which really turned the tide in favor of India Alliance, because it shows that how BJP is again and again undermining the constitution, and even people who were against Aam Aadmi Party have started finding sympathy and place in their hearts for Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal.
Will that
and
actually
today,
happen?
the arrest,
Will it turn the tide? We'll be tracking that story very closely. To all my guests, many thanks for joining me.